more and more. I've heard about it for years, and I think that there just wasn't quite enough science around it for me, although not that if there's science really great anecdotally, I don't get on board, but in this case, I'm just catching on, and I'm finding out some really interesting information about people getting amazing benefits, pain reduction, better hormone regulation, anti-aging, and if you can see right now, I'm connected in a hyperconducting water out to a beautiful place in nature. I'll be talking a little bit more this whole trip. Most of this trip's going to be about connecting with nature and some of the health benefits that that provides. And I'm here helping to instruct a class, and in the meantime, I'll be filling you in as well. Now, this is an interesting time. I don't know when you're viewing this video, but this is a time during the coronavirus. That's right. And I did travel out of King County during the height of the coronavirus. At least I hope it's the height. Anyway, before, if the airports get shut down before that. So I always do a travel kit that I've taken with me to Uganda, Ethiopia, India, and so far it has worked amazingly well. I personally chose not to do a lot of the heavy medications that are recommended. I only took very certain ones like typhoid. Personally, I decided to do that because if the symptoms are really mild in me and I didn't know I had it, I didn't want to pass it on to other people. And I also did the yellow fever vaccine. I did feel some reaction from that, and I didn't do a lot of the anti-malarials and that type of thing, or Cipro and that type of thing, because I was worried about the side effects. And I know for some people that seems foolish, but I found this other travel pack that I do that has been so far rock solid. We'll see how this trip goes, but I'll go over that in another video. But this morning, I just hope that you can enjoy with me the beautiful, beautiful shores of Loreto. And I'll let you know, Loreto is really a little gem in Baja. And a lot of people already know that. In fact, there's tons of expats down here. It's relatively safe. All the sidewalks are intact. That's not always true in everywhere in Mexico. You know, it's easy to get a taxi out of the airport for say $20 US. Find a relatively nice, cute little hotel for maybe 80, 90. So it is more expensive here, but it is also safer, and also just things are more intact. So it depends on what kind of travel you like to do. I've definitely been in those times where I'm backpacking in areas where the roads aren't even there. So this is kind of plush. So, all right, enjoy, and I'll be talking more about the wonderful benefits of earthing and the fact that I need to get a pedicure. All right. Hi, good morning. This is Jessica. Well, good morning for me. I just woke up. We've been talking about earthing and what kind of benefits there might be for that. And I decided last night here in Baja, California, that I would sleep directly on the sand. This whole area should be a very charged area because of the moisture, and being connected directly to the ocean and the earth at the same time. So I have been doing that, and I didn't use the thermarest last night, and actually I really found it really delightful. There's something really, it had this really nourishing effect. I slept here last night on a different beach with the thermarest, and I still really liked it, but this time it just had this funny, nourishing feeling. So we'll see how that goes. I do have some tension in my shoulders and neck from kayaking. I'm not sure if that'll all just go away with the earthing, but I'm just going to stay curious. I've also been asking other people to try it who may have aches or pains, who I'm on a trip with. And so far, the people who've tried it feel like there is a pain reduction after even 15 to 20 minutes of having their feet directly in contact with the earth. So all anecdotal. There's been other research by Clift Ober and other people that have showed actual, more clinical research that showed the effects of earthing. Also talked earlier about how we're traveling right now in the middle of the coronavirus outbreak. Things are unfolding as we speak, for borders being shut down, and there is some concern whether or not we even get home. But I just wanted to show you what I travel with. I've taken this to Uganda, Ethiopia, India, Mexico. This is a kit actually I learned about from Hippocrates Health Institute, and I've used it every time I travel, and I have not gotten sick whenever I've taken this. I've used it for years now. So this is the Argentine 23 that I spray just as needed, really. I try to do at least a couple times a day, but if not, especially if I feel like I'm in a contagious area like the LA airport coming here, or I feel like I'm getting any sort of congestion or sore throat, I will take the Argentine 23. The middle one, the Cemento, is actually cat's claw, but it's been modified. A lot of people use this even for certain types of like Lyme disease, chronic fatigue syndrome, especially if they believe there's some underlying pathogen that is causing the immune system not function correctly. So the Cemento is also an amazing antimicrobial. So I take that when I travel. And then Cell Food. Cell Food's a nourishing supplement for the cells. You can look at what's all in there, but that one. So each of the Cemento and the Cell Food, I do 4 drops twice a day in water. There are times I increase it a little bit, especially if there's any gastrointestinal issues. In theory, this is also all antimicrobial, anti-malaria. I also took some Artemisia when I went to Uganda because I was in such a high parasite, which would be the malaria zone. I did choose not to do the Malarone for potential side effects, and so that's why I did these 3 mixed with the Artemisia absinthe. And then also, I usually take chlorella with me, and I take a lot of chlorella. That's just to keep my oxygen levels up and to stay alkaline and in a detoxed state as much as possible while I travel. And digestive enzymes for if the food's really different and my stomach's not able to process it as well. All right, these are the 3 ones, and I mentioned a couple other ones. Oh, sorry, one more. And vitamin C. I do take extra vitamin C in cases like this with really high contagion for if I do get it and for prevention. A vitamin C dosage can be, say, even 1,000 milligrams every hour or 2,000 every couple hours. Vitamin C will stay in your system for about 2 hours. High dose vitamin C, sometimes lysomal or IV, has been used for all kinds of infections to help with even really serious infections like pertussis in cases. If you look at Susan Humphreys, that's where I've seen some of that work, and I've talked to other doctors who've used it for a variety. Some people even use it for cancer. I've seen people try that. I haven't personally seen the success, but I've heard about it, and I have not, the people I've seen that have done it, it didn't actually change their outcome, but the vitamin C, I do believe, is really helpful I've seen it work very well for people who are sick, and to use this before using antibiotics. So with the Cemento and the...
Hi, this is Jessica again from a different beach, not Baja anymore, but a little island in the Pacific Northwest. And we are surviving the COVID-19, but I'm here to talk more about the earthing again. So, again, I'm walking, and let me just show you these shoes. Just a second here. You're gonna get to look at them. Let's see, can you see that? See that metal in the very bottom? These are amazingly comfy shoes. I looked up earthing shoes and I found these. You can also get kits where you can change your shoes into earthing shoes. So I was really impressed, I have to say, with some of the research and some of the reading that I did. I listened to a book called Earthing, Clint Ober's in it. Basically, one of the ways that earthing works is that like a lot of scientists know, that there's a negative electron charge all across the surface of the earth. And places with higher salt water have higher electronic charges, and more movement of water creates more negative electrons as well. So when we get charged more positive, we build up positive electrons, it causes issues with our body. And those positive electrons can come from just electricity that's not grounded in our house. Or some people have also shown that there's a potential that phones and EMFs also increase the positive electron charges, which then exacerbates free radicals in the body. Now, why is that important? Because free radicals basically damage all kinds of cells. And it's one of the reasons we believe we age. It's one of the things that we look at for cardiovascular health, even metabolic issues related to weight, anxiety, sleep, all these kinds of things. So if there's a way to very simply ground yourself where you're getting these negative electrons to counteract the positive electrons in the body, it's amazing. and it's free or cheap. I mean, there is the very simple thing of just going to put your feet in the sand, because even early on, a lot of the people who did it felt like they got more energy. I'd have them assess their pain level before they put their feet in the sand and just sat there with maybe the water splashing up on their feet. Oh, and then check just 15 minutes later. Every single time, the pain was a little bit better. And that is similar to what I read about in the book. So anyway, I just want to add that in. Since then, I got an earthing sheet, just a silver threaded organic sheet that you can plug into a grounding outlet. I have a newer house, and so that means that normally all of the outlets are grounded. Older houses may not, but you can buy a device that checks to see if your outlet is grounded. Or you can simply, we've done this as well for a downstairs room, where we got a metal rod, copper rod, connected it to the grounding element, the metal, and then put it on a bed sheet. We did the DIY one, which we took aluminum tape. You can Google it. There's a lot of people who do it, but we took aluminum tape on a piece of fabric and then connected that metal to a wire that then went to the copper rod. Now, my daughter did that as a project some months ago before I even read the book. We were just talking about EMF mitigation for young people. And I'd rather just buy something, I have to say, because it got all crumpled up and she wasn't quite sleeping. It just, you can do it, and there are other people I know who've done it, but we got the nice organic with silver thread in there. It was not very expensive, and we've been sleeping on those since. All right, I'll be back with more information. I'm gonna do some more herb stuff, and more exploring this amazing world of health.